Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today I have got game 1 of a best of 3 between Millennium's Adel, who is the orange Protoss in the top left position, against Eclipse's Welmu, who is the red Protoss in the lower right position. This is a best of 3, as I said, from the Zotac Cup, and it is a PvP. So this should be awesome. I hope you do all enjoy it. If you do, give the video a thumbs up. Leave any comments or anything like that about the games in the section below. I'm gonna do these games as well. I've decided I'm going to do them as all in one video, so that is what is going to go on. I'm also doing it with health bars up because I know some people like that, so I try and vary it around a bit by having some games with the health bars up, some games with them only on selected, just to kind of cater to as many people as possible. So if you do dislike having all the health bars up, or the videos, like all the games in one video or anything like that, do just let me know, because obviously then I can adapt to make it what people and the viewers actually prefer, which would be brilliant. So just leave a comment below with your thoughts on that. Also, what do you think of the games? So these are two like really good players. Obviously Millennium Adel, really well known, so is ECWelmu. And of course it's from the Zotac Cup. I've cast lots of Attack as well because I do that live. Just some really good online tournaments at the moment who get some actually quite high-end players, because at the end of the day, I mean, some people have asked me why do you get these high-end players going in games like sort of €200 for the winner. Like for example, Attack, we had White Briar in it, we've had Empire Cass and Empire Happy and all those sort of players. And it's like, well, they're going to be playing anyway, because they've got to be practicing, they're going to be playing, so why not win €200 at the same time? And that's ultimately what it comes down to. So we will see both players going for pretty similar builds at the moment, nothing too amazingly different, which is to be expected in a mirror match. You don't really tend to see variation too quickly, because it's the only real race I can think of off the top of my head where you can get big variation would be a ZVZ. Obviously you could get a hatch first against a pool first build, whereas in sort of PvP and TVT you have to get either a gateway or a Rax first before you can expand. Slight bit of variation going on here now though. We've got that second gateway coming out for Welmu at the moment. He's also getting up his second gas, but so is Adel. We'll be interested to see what goes on. Adel's starting Warp Gate straight away, a couple of seconds earlier, but that second gateway could play in quite nicely for Welmu. It just depends how he chooses to use it, if he adds on more gateways in a bit, whether he tries to put on pressure, whether both players expand. I mean, there's lots of options available to both of these people at the moment, so we will wait and see. Chrono Boost coming out for Welmu's Cybernetics core as well. Adel also Chrono Boosting out, so both players doing fairly similar builds. It's looking at the Chrono Boost energy. Welmu does have some actually saved up, quite a large amount, nearly 2 Chrono Boosts saved, so maybe waiting to get a double Chrono Boost out on the gateways. That's the only real thing I can think could be going on at the moment. Which is exactly what is happening. So we're going to see a bit of early pressure coming out with a kind of 3 stalker pressure out of Welmu, which could be pretty, well, it will be good for scouting. You'll get some good information. It's also very safe to scout with stalkers because there's nothing your opponent can have that's faster than them. And meanwhile we've got the second gateway coming out for Adel. And other than that, everything is pretty damn standard. There's more stalkers coming out still though for Welmu, so Welmu going almost exclusively for stalkers at the moment. This one stalker Zella, which is usually a really nice build, is going to get taken down really hard. That Zella could actually get killed if he isn't careful. Welmu getting up his Twilight Council as well, so both these players sticking on one base. Welmu moved his stalkers down to this lower ramp. This is essentially just to hide from Adel if he does try and scout in what's happening, because if he picks off anything there, well, Welmu has hidden whether he's got an expansion or not, and Adel is going to be a bit confused. Adel does have his own expansion coming down though. Natural base is on its way. The Twilight Council just started, so a little bit behind, but obviously there was that bonus base, and now this is going to be 5 stalkers coming out. There's no more coming out for Welmu at all. There are 5 stalkers, and that's going to be up against 2 stalkers and a Zealot, so that Zealot is going to get taken down really hard and fast if he's not careful. One of those stalkers taking quite a few big hits as well. That Zealot's going to go down though, and that's just free money there for Welmu, and it's very nice indeed. We've got another probe kind of wandering its way up. It'd be interesting to see where that's off to. Judging by the fact there's a robo facility down, Blink is on its way, so there's only 2 gateways out, but no expansion as of yet. So this is going to be some kind of 2-gate pressure with the robotics facility in there as well. That observer's going to see absolutely everything, but obviously we will see here ECWelmu is gearing up, getting a lot more stalkers out. Does have chrono boots going off on the warp gates, has got an additional gateway coming down as well. Blink started for both players. Meanwhile, ECWelmu has got no sign of taking down his expansion, so this is really a one-base play. And it'll be interesting to see if he can pull it off, because essentially if he doesn't do really significant damage with this one-base play, he's going to be in huge problems, because it's coming up to about 8 minutes, and with still no expansion, and when your opponent's already mining off of theirs, you're just getting so far behind economically. I mean, the difference between one base and 2 bases is massive. It just really opens up the higher tech, which ECWelmu isn't going to have available to him. Getting our 3rd gateway now. The robotic facility being used purely for an observer. Nothing else here as of yet, but Blink is done, so this observer will give vision of the high ground, allowing him to blink up into the main base of ECWelmu if he chooses to do so. But no, he's not. He's actually going to move around to the side, and this is going to be bad because ECWelmu is moving all of his forces up ready to deal with that blink up, and this is going to allow ECWelmu to walk his way in. And ECWelmu, by taking out that pylon, has temporarily supply blocked ECWelmu, and a couple of probes are going to get taken down, but Blink back just to be on the safe side. But both players do have Blink now, so a forward Blink there for ECWelmu. That was a good choice. A couple of big stalker hits going off here, but some more blinks going out, and ECWelmu has lost the distance there. If you take a look at the loss tab, well, slightly more loss for ECWelmu now by 1 stalker, I believe. Yep, 1 stalker more loss, so that's not huge by any means, but it does mean that that worked out okay for ECWelmu. But obviously ECWelmu now has that base up and running happily. If we look at the working count, it's 29 to 34. That's pretty big. ECWelmu now going for a Dark Shrine, because as Day9 would say, if behind Dark Shrine, but obviously, actually no, not obviously, there is no robotic facility down in the moment for ECWelmu, which means no observer, which means no detection, and that is going to make ECWelmu sad face. Seriously, if ECWelmu just comes and wins the DTs now, ECWelmu's just going to be like, oh, for God's sake. So ECWelmu obviously knows that there is no robotics facility down anywhere. That forward pylon is still in position, so that could be very, very effective. But this is a scary looking force right now. There's a lot of stalkers there, but ECWelmu's looking okay geared up to defend against it. The Dark Shrine is nearly complete. Still no sign of a robotic facility coming down now for ECWelmu at all, so no detection is going to be around to deal with those DTs if they do come out. And ECWelmu just checking for the 3rd base and just reinforcing with more and more units. The Dark Shrine is done, and here comes the warp in of just 2 DTs at the moment. The rest probably really waiting to defend more. 1 more DT down here just to try and pick off some of this army, and in comes the stalkers here for ECWelmu. That pylon is going to get taken down. The DT going to town on these stalkers now, doing 6 damage, but this natural base of ECWelmu suddenly looking in a lot of trouble. But there's a lot of stalkers, and there's stalkers everywhere, and I believe that ECWelmu has the greater numbers, but the DTs are in the main base of ECWelmu at the moment. If you take a look up here, it's just doing damage everywhere, picking off drone after drone. Meanwhile though, it looks like ECWelmu is coming out far, far better here. Even the probes have been pulled, but they're not able to do very much at all. And essentially, ECWelmu is just really killing everything now in ECWelmu's base. He's coming around, he's picking off some drones. Has managed to corner himself a little bit though, which is less than ideal, means those Zealots can get into the fray, but there's just so much stuff here for ECWelmu at the moment that he's going to really, really struggle to deal with it. That being said though, the DTs have managed to kill pretty much everything in ECWelmu's base, as in nearly everything completely. So both players are getting very bad, in a very, very bad position economically, and obviously these DTs will eventually kill the stalkers. If the stalkers do decide to stop to actually try and take out ECWelmu's base. Having said that though, the rest of the DTs are on the way back. They're just chasing down ECWelmu's drones to try and do anything they can. 1 left in the main base, diligently going around and hitting everything. So we're in kind of a strange base race situation now, which could actually take a long time. Because obviously these DTs are everywhere. They're slowly picking off stalkers, and ECWelmu does actually have enough money to build a couple more, but not enough money to build anything else. And there's this 1 photon cannon, so this is actually a genius move by ECWelmu. That photon cannon could win in the game, because essentially now these DTs, they can't do anything, because if they go down there, then ECWelmu's going to see them, and the stalker's just going to sit there. But this is the best choice that Whelmu could have made, which is just wall off, because then these stalkers can't get up. The only trouble is, though, he didn't wall off low enough. It means blink does mean the stalkers can get in, but more stalkers are getting picked off, and there's not enough money. Oh my god, all the probes have been killed. Does that take him to 0 probes? There are no harvesters at all for Whelmu, and he doesn't have enough money to build another one. So, essentially, that is really, really bad times now for Whelmu. Really bad times. There are 5 workers left for Whelmu, but he's lost all of his bases, and he doesn't have enough money to build any more photon cannons. So this could be pretty interesting, how this really goes down. Not much is really going to happen now for quite a long time, because obviously Whelmu can't go and take out that photon cannon. He's going to kill all of this stuff first, and of course there are these hidden pylons as well, so there's just no way. And Whelmu, he tricked you once with that blink trick. You need to wall off down here so he can't get the vision. But more stalkers are getting taken out, and as these stalker numbers get lower and lower, it's going to become harder and harder for Adel to deal with this, because really, as the stalkers are dying, he's not going to be able to pick off things quickly enough, and eventually he'll get to the point where really Whelmu can just go and snipe off the cannon if there's no units remaining. But there are these probes trying to block it. There are 2 sentries, so those force fields will be absolutely essential. But this is going to go into a real stalemate, and for the benefit of, I think, everyone, of a stalemate situation like this, I think I'm going to go up to that 2 times, because we're going to have quite a bit of sitting around here with literally nothing happening. Nothing at all happening. Still nothing happening. There's a second DT now though. DTs. Well, what? He's blinked up past you every time. Just come low and you'll be fine. So still pretty much nothing. Still pretty much nothing. Still pretty much nothing. One stalker! One stalker! Stalker, what are you doing? What are you doing, Stalker? You're gonna get hit by stuff. Don't get hit by stuff, Stalker. Run away, run away, run away, run away, run away. Blink. Run, 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 run. Yep, there's still nothing. And the Stalker gets away. Meanwhile, I know it's like a draw. This is actually gonna be really, really awkward. I think the only option is for Whelmu to kill literally everything else, or like as much as he can, and kill off that pylon. Then, well, no, he's not even going to be able to kill that, because now Adel's just kind of hugged this photon cannon. So I don't think those DTs will be able to kill everything there before they get killed. But I really don't know. I'm quite confused. As in, I really, really don't know how this will end. But eventually one of them is going to have to do something, so it looks like they're getting up. Archons were the best choice ever. That was genius. Whelmu, that was genius. Those Archons could literally be your saving grace right now. It's all going to go down. It's all going to go down. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? The Archons are going. The Archons! The Archons! They're focusing down the pylon. Come on, kill the pylon. Kill the pylon. Super quick. Super quick. Good. 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 Quick. Now run away. Run away, babe. Run away. And now this is not fun times. We will see the DTs are going in. They're going to get the probes. They're going to get the probes. So you just kill that and you've won. You've won, Whelmu. Kill the photon cannon. Just kill the photon cannon. There's nothing else on the field. Just kill it. Kill it and you're going to win. And that was the longest PvP of nothing happening ever. So, let's go into game 2 of this best of 3. Whelmu is 1 up. And I do apologise for speeding that up, but there was a lot of time of just sitting around with not much happening. And in the slightest. Game 2 is just loading up now, so I hope you are ready for this. It is, of course, a best of 3. So, here we go into game 2 between Eclipse's Whelmu and Millennium's Adel. So, that was a pretty funky game 1. Probably the longest, slowest base race I've seen in a long time, short of back when you watch a Bronze League game where a Terran floats all his buildings to the corner and the other player can't work out how to build air. But that's pretty fun. Drew on our bit, so hopefully game 2 will be a bit more exciting and a bit less random. So, obviously, being a best of 3, Whelmu, if he wins this game, goes through. If Adel wins this game, it's forced into a game 3, which is always fun. Meanwhile, well, this map, what's it got to offer? Natural base, quite easy to take, quite a narrow choke there. Third base, no rocks blocking or anything, but there's this entrance, and also this entrance, which means that there's a lot of ways for your opponent to get into the third if it does go that far. The fourth is actually quite natural. The fourth base really does flow nicely on this map. You've also got these expansions down to the very, very far sides, which are good because it spreads out your force very, very well. You've also got this sort of strange expansion here, which again isn't too bad to take. I really, really like Cloud Kingdom. I think it's an awesome map. I think it's really, really good. Especially to watch. There's just a lot of different strategies that can go down. Talking of different strategies, WellMu and Adele yet again doing exactly the same thing, which is the standard PvP opening of you get a gateway, you get an assimilator, and they'll probably both get their cybercore after that, unless one of them goes for something a bit more funky. So yeah, while we're waiting for these to start up, don't forget, if you do like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my YouTube, which of course is youtube.com/Madals91, MADALS91. Follow me on Twitter, which is at SC2_England. And last but not least, leave any comments or criticisms. The two things I'm specifically looking for feedback on is if you like these best of 3 games, best of 5 games, or whatever, all in one video, or if you prefer for them to be in separate videos so you can like come back easily or things like that. The second thing I'd love to know, so please leave comments, is do you prefer health bars being up all the time, or do you like them being on selected only units? Because it's something I've tried both of and never really got a definitive answer. I think, in my personal opinion, being a player, I like having the health bars up because I know you can then see what's going on, you can see snipes better, you know, all of that sort of thing that's going on. But as an observer, obviously health bars can clutter up the screen a little bit, so do give me your own opinions, because obviously then I can adapt and adjust my casting style to really cater for as many people as possible. So far, what have we got? Well, both players doing very, very similar builds. Command Center, Cybernetics Core. Second gateway coming out here for Adele. Meanwhile, no second gateway yet for WellMu, who does have both gas up though. This one Stalker coming and plodding his way across the map just to go and have a little look-see at what's going on. That second gas was quite a bit earlier for WellMu actually, so a Robo facility coming down for WellMu as well now. So one gateway, one Robo. Will be good to see what he chooses to do with that. As for Adele, well, got those 2 gateways in Cybercore. So again, this is really, really similar to Adele's. Was it Adele's? I can't remember now in game 1. It's similar to one of the players in game 1. But I don't remember which. Twilight Council coming down, so Blink probably being favoured again. Meanwhile, a second gateway being added on by WellMu here. Neither player taking an expansion, neither player in a position to take an expansion or saving up the money to get an expansion. So it looks like we're going to be seeing on one base a lot yet again. Meanwhile, WellMu just really sitting back defending. Adele does have a bit more of a sizable force at the moment actually, so it'll be interesting to see if that does do anything. And of course reinforcements are coming all the way, that probe coming forward as well. There's a third gateway being added on here for Adele. Meanwhile, WellMu, he has got that observer out and he's following up with an immortal that's getting chrono boosted out. That second gateway has finished just as Warp Gate Tech is cleaned up. There is a sentry there though, so Adele, you are not coming up in that base. That is something you're certainly not doing. There goes the forward pylon. So this is a 3-gate blink play out of Adele compared to a 2-base Robo from WellMu. 2 gateway Robo. Did I say 2 base? I think I did. Doesn't matter. It's fine. No one heard. It's all good. Shh. So, yeah, we will just wait and see how this turns out. Obviously, this Immortal is going to be absolutely massive. The second Immortal is going to be humongous. And really that could change the tide of the battle, because Adele obviously going for a very Stalker-focused play. It'll be interesting to see whether he waits for Blink to finish or goes in before that. But obviously Immortals shred Stalkers like they're not even there. It's absolutely sick. The only more decimating fight you will see is a Colossus against Zerglings, but obviously both these players are Protoss, so we won't be seeing that at all. There is this Observer out though for WellMu, who now knows obviously exactly what's coming. It's going to be a Blink play. This is a super forward pylon, but that second Immortal has popped in time. Meanwhile, we will just see no more Immortals coming out as of yet from WellMu. He's got his own Twilight Council up, getting another gateway. There goes down a good force field, denying this push as long as possible, really just to try and maximise his chances of holding it. And to be honest, these 2 Immortals are going to be huge. Chrono boost coming down on these Warp Gates. 2 more Warp Gates coming out for WellMu at the moment as well. But he does get the vision to get the Blink up. That one Immortal gets focused down so quickly. That is a massive win there for Adele, but supply count is still there for WellMu. He's moving forward, and that Immortal is starting to do huge damage. Just look at how absolutely decimating this to those Stalkers, and temporarily we will see ECWelmu force back 2 of those Stalkers on extremely low health. But that being said, we will see ECWelmu coming up here yet again, trying to focus down that Mortal, which needs to stay up so badly, but does get taken down. And now, of course, ECWelmu does have the superior numbers, and this isn't looking too fun at all for Welmu at the moment. So we will wait and see if this goes down any further. But I mean, ECWelmu, he is losing units quite rapidly. There's 2 more sentries out for Welmu at the moment. He is in quite a good spot. He's getting more chrono boosts out. He's up to 4 warp gates. That is compared to the 3 warp gates of ECWelmu. And there is another Immortal coming out. That Immortal is going to be huge, but great thing play out of ECWelmu at the moment. Superior supply count for Welmu though. So those zealots are eating up an awful lot of damage. The sentries are helping incredibly. Welmu just getting more units warping in as best he can, trying to pick off anything and everything, and there's a lot of units going on very low HP at the moment for ECWelmu, and it looks like Welmu's going to hold this pretty comfortably now. And once that Immortal comes out, he's just got it in the bag as far as that goes, and essentially ECWelmu has nothing to follow this up with. If we look at the work count, it is 22 to 29 in Welmu's favour, and no more focus production, so really that's going to hold nicely. A good blink away there. One Zealot magically getting outside of the force field, but can't go back in. He obviously put on a bit of weight outside and was just like, sorry guys, you can't come back in, you're over the weight limit, it's fine. But no, so really now ECWelmu's in this sort of tough spot where he's like more sort of committed to this, but we are going to see Welmu walk out because he's got those Immortals, a good forward blink, going to be able to do some nice damage. ECWelmu's units are getting caught out, and that Immortal, when it does get hits off, absolutely huge, and some good forward blinks coming off everywhere. These pylons are going to get taken down probably pretty quickly. But to be honest, ECWelmu is looking in a pretty bad spot right now. No attempt to even take a second base, just warping in more units. And essentially, this is a case of, I've committed to this, so I've got to do something. 2 Stalkers against 4, always lose. This pylon is going to go down. ECWelmu is still trying to just keep this push going as best as possible, but to be honest, Welmu's at almost double the supply now, with a better tech with that Immortal out, and an Immortal versus Stalkers just is never a fun engagement. Or has Immortal been killed? No, Immortal is still alive. Where is it? There we go, wandering around. It's a little crab leg. See, every time I see an Immortal now, I just think of Day 9's Immortal dance, which is really quite amusing. Still though, neither player has taken an expansion. The work count is still 22 to 29 in favour of Welmu, so that relates to income quite nicely, to be honest. It's about 200 minerals a minute more. And there goes that second pylon down, so ECWelmu is pretty much supply block now, having to build more pylons. And essentially, what does ECWelmu do in a position like this? Committed so much to this one base all in, and Welmu defended it. So that's a bit of a tough spot, and Welmu now even managing to take down its expansion. ECWelmu could always try and expand behind this, but being behind in the work count already, best bet is probably just trying to push through, but obviously no forward pylon now, so those reinforcements are going to take literally forever to get down there. Welmu just blinking, because why move when you can blink? I would, if I could teleport, I'd just teleport everywhere. It's like, oh, I need to go to, like, pick up the TV controller. Nope, teleport. So much better. It's like the film Jumper. If any of you've ever seen it, do check it out. It's quite funny. I just teleport everywhere. So this is an amazing defensive position. I've said this in a couple of my casts. If you are defending, spread your army out to have a good arc to start with, because why not? You might as well get yourself in a good position for maximum surface area of attack as soon as possible, and that's going to actually scare ECWelmu back a bit. And here we go, good arc. Something did go down there, I'm not quite sure for who. If you look at the loss tab, really well, over 1,000 more resources lost for ECWelmu compared to Welmu at the moment, which is massive. That natural base is about to come down for Welmu, and essentially once that's out, it's pretty much all over. There's not going to be much ECWelmu to do. A great forward blink, gets a couple more Stalkers there, and Immortal wandering as they forward, and a bad rally here. That's going to be some free Stalkers. ECWelmu could not afford that in the slightest, and that forward pylon for ECWelmu is going to go down as well, yet again supply blocking him, and essentially ECWelmu is now in a bad, terrible, awful, diabolical spot. 2 more pros in production here for Welmu now, and essentially I'm pretty sure Welmu's going to take this quite comfortably now, because, well, he's got better tech, he's got more units, he's got another base, and that's really good. An amazing forward blink, and counter blink goes down there. Does manage to pick off the Immortal before it does too much damage, but huge hits being taken from all of these stalks. Another amazing blink goes down there, and there's the GG. Well played from Adel, and ECWelmu wins this series 2-0. So I hope you did enjoy those games. I've said it twice already, but I'm going to say it again. Thumbs up the video if you liked it. Leave any comments. If you like Health Buzz Up, if you like all the games in one cast, follow me on Twitter at SC2_England. Subscribe if you would like. I get a game up every day at least. And last but not least, I hope you enjoyed, and do tune in again. Thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.